Mr. Daniel. We've had some interesting numbers come out, so you're probably wondering where the real estate market is at, because the media likes to spin things. They like to spin it so that you pay attention, good or bad. And it's funny, we can have the same report reported two different ways based on what direction they want to lead you, depending on what the report says. So nationally, let's give you an idea of what's going on with home prices, because you're going to hear about how home prices are going down, the appreciation levels are going down. Well, they're not going down. They're just going down from last year, which was one of the peak years because we went from the lowest years. We all know that. We had some of the lowest values we've seen. I mean, talk about depreciation, huh, Dan, for about 4 or 5 years there?
Yeah, up until about, 2010, I think it was. It was just awful.
That's right.
Mess. And then in 2010, it started going back up.
Last year,
tremendously. It wasn't a slow rise either.
Big rises, but that's because it came up from some of our lowest levels we have ever seen in a long, long time. So, of course, they're going to eventually go down. We have been warning you on the Don and Gino show now for months and months, for a year now, that these levels of appreciation, which, just nationally was about 12.4%. We didn't think that we'd get up to double digits. And then California, that's right, because we were one of the hardest hit. We were also one of the largest appreciation levels, and we were at 25% year over year for a little while there. Where are we at today, Mr. Dan?
Well, nationally, we're still good, 6.4%, and in California, 9.2%.
Okay, I think I'd take 9.2% of my $500,000 home, huh?
All day. I mean, that's still tremendous growth. I mean, it's unsustainable, really. It's going to go down. I mean, there's no question about it. It's not going to be that good going forward, unfortunately, but you can't really expect to have it be that good for
what's it normally?
I'd say closer to 3.
Exactly. So over time, over 100 years' time, the average appreciation on a home is around 3%. Strong number, though, on such a big number.
Right.
So now that it's down, it's funny that the media is going to spin this, because now we're down to 6.4 nationally, and we're down to 9.2 in California, which is going to continue to go down. Again, it's going to go back to more normal levels. Most of the statistics we see, just predict that by the end of this year we'll be at about 4.6% to 4.9% nationally. That means California's will probably go down to 7% range, and then the following year it's going to go down to 4%, then 3.6%, 3.2, 3%. Did you get where I'm going?
Yeah, that's good. In fact, I was sitting in my dentist's chair yesterday, and she had bought a house about a month ago. And as much as I could talk with her hands in my mouth, her concern was it the right time to buy? I mean, she was very nervous about it. She went ahead and did it last month, so
good for her.
She's in the house, but she was very nervous about where her house was going to go. Was it going to go up or was it going to go down? She was just really nervous about that. And I gave her these numbers and said, you got nothing to worry about. I mean, it's still fantastic growth, so relax and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us have changed our thought process. For a while there, when we were at the peak of the market, it was going absolutely crazy between 2000 and 2007, let's just say. Everybody can speculate that they were going to gain a lot of value in their property. And basically a lot of you out there bought a home expecting it to go up, and you're going to either cash out of the home or buy a bigger home. And now the thought process is a little different. It's now back to why we buy homes, to buy and hold and live in that home. So over time, your home will appreciate. It's just a fact. So will you make 20% in 1 year? Well, most likely not,
No.
But you're not buying it to live in the home for 1 year. This is there's nothing like home ownership. I mean, you can go and rent if you want, which is all fine. But then again, you aren't going to be able to just paint the rooms the way Johnny wants his room painted. You aren't going to be able to fix up the garden the way you want. Guys, you can't do anything in the garage because you probably don't have one.
Right.
So there's nothing like home ownership. And we're going to really press today that we are now back down to the lowest levels in interest rates that we have seen in a year. Since October of last year, we're back down to low 4s. I mean, when it got at 4, in the mid 4s, people were going nuts again. So now we're down to low 4s, some of the lowest levels ever. And a lot of you hopefully are going to take action. And action in a lot of ways, and we're going to go into details of why you need to take action, but we're hoping you take action in purchasing your first home, purchasing your next home, your bigger home, so that Johnny now has his own bedroom and not sharing with Susie because he's 14 now. It's that time. And guys, you get your garage. Women, you get your backyard and the kitchen you want. now is the time, because if you wait, you're going to lose a ton of purchasing power. We're going to talk a little bit more about that right now.
Right, and plus, even a year from now, if these numbers hold, 6 or 7%, you're going to lose. I mean,
That's a good point, because if you wait, let's just say it's 5%. Let's just give a round number of
Right.
5%. On a $500,000 home, 25 grand.
Right.
You just lost, and that's not including your tax advantages, is it? That's
No.
just appreciation. That's not principal reduction. That doesn't talk about all the tangibles that go with it, because you get to write off, in most cases. We're not tax people, but this is how it kind of works. You get to write off the interest, and you get to write off the property taxes.
Right. It's
Good
just
stuff.
there's a lot of good things about owning a home. And
See
those are
how much you can write off on your rent.
just- 0.
You get a renter's credit of like $200 or something silly like that, or $20. I don't know. So anyway, stay tuned, because we're going to go into more.